About starting to work out outside? Have you been thinking, man, it's nice in the summertime, nice in the springtime, nice in the fall where I live, and maybe I need to start doing some outdoor workouts, but for some reason you haven't, right? You just keep saying you're going to, oh, I'm gonna start getting outside, but the day you think you're gonna get outside is too hot. Then the next day you're thinking about it and it's raining. So you just never do, right? And you feel very comfortable inside of your gym. You know where all the machines are. Your program runs pretty smoothly. Certain time of day there aren't too many people there, so you're just in a routine of being inside. Well, let me tell you a few reasons why I champion outdoor workouts, and it's something that is a very important part of my program, and it keeps me going, guys. Number one, I like to have my morning walks, right? And whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, I find that, you know, being out in the sunlight, whether it's a little bit chilly out or it's warm, it really helps set my circadian rhythm and keep it going at the pace that it's supposed to, meaning it sets your internal clock. So you start to, if you come out in the morning, your circadian rhythm lines up with the sun. And so then that starts, you know, that sets the clock for your melatonin production at night. So then when the sun starts to go down, your melatonin has already been producing, and you start to feel yourself getting tired at the right time. Now, obviously that's just one of the benefits, but I feel like it provides a lot of mental clarity, and you know, you get to breathe fresh air, and I think that we take that for granted as well. You know, obviously one of the best ways we get rid of fat is through carbon dioxide. So obviously when we're outside, we're breathing in the oxygen and we're letting go of the carbon dioxide. So it really helps. Also, when I work out outside, guys, I seem to never overdo, okay? If that makes sense. When I'm outdoors, I feel like there's a calming effect to being outside nature. We've all heard that before. But I think it's true. I think you even though you can exert yourself, you know, you can go really hard no matter what you're doing, whether it's HIIT training, running, sprinting, cycling, swimming, you can go very hard. But there's something kind of profound about being outdoors that keeps you calm, keeps you regulated, and you never find yourself to a point where, you know, sometimes you're in a workout class or you're you know, performing a leg workout and you're like, man, I felt like I was gonna pass out, right? I don't seem to have that feeling outdoors. It seems to continue to just keep your levels a little bit balanced, keep you calm. Obviously, nature activates our parasympathetic nervous system a bit. Now, obviously, once, you know, as we're putting in some heavy stress on our muscles and cardiovascular system, we're accessing our sympathetic nervous system. But I think there's a little bit more of a balance when you're outdoors. That's what I've found. So the workouts themselves, although very challenging at times, they just never seem to get to a point where it leaves you, you know, like I said, ready to fall out. Also, I think it's peaceful. And when you're outdoors and you work out, guys, nobody can bother you. Most of the time, nobody's around, right? And I know that community is important. Also, I think energy is important. I think when you're inside of a gym, you gravitate, or you gravitate towards other human beings, and their energy obviously connects to yours, and that can be a great thing for you. But how much time do we waste when we're indoors? How many times do people come up and spark conversations that end up killing your pump? You know, and you're done talking to them and you're like, man, I wasted 5 minutes right there. I was only trying to rest for 2 minutes. You know what I mean? And sometimes takes your mind away from your program, right? So you might be performing a round, or you might be performing a superset. That person comes over and starts a conversation, man. Might be a pleasant conversation, but took your mind away from took your mind away from your ultimate goal, right? And you have to realign your mind and get focused back on what you're doing at that current time. So it's when you're outdoors and you work out, that is a lot less likely to happen. And so I find a lot of peace and makes it a lot easier for me to focus when I work out outdoors. Guys, you know I'm a huge fan of sunlight. And, you know, we all have different skin tones. We all react to the sun differently. I mean, I think that's what makes us unique as human beings. But I rarely see a healthy person at a healthy weight who has a consistent level of movement throughout their week, and they have a great nutrition and meal plan. I rarely hear that person talk about getting too much sun. I think a lot of the issues that we have with sunlight, getting too much sunlight, has to do with how our body is processing the UV rays, how our skin is reacting to UV rays. And I think a lot of that has to do with the health of our skin. And that being said, you know, if you're listening to this and you're someone who works out, you know, consistently, and you have been for quite some time, most likely you're going to react to the sunlight a bit differently. I feel like working outdoors, you know, I'm killing a couple birds with one stone. I'm out there for 30, 45 minutes, an hour perhaps, and I'm able to soak up a lot of UV rays, man, activate my vitamin D hormone. I feel like it warms my internal temperature is a lot higher when I'm outdoors a lot and I'm soaking up that sunlight. So, and obviously you end up certain times of the year, you end up with a pretty nice tan, right? So I think that's very, very positive. And I think that's something that's overlooked. We take the sunlight for granted. I think because it's abundant most places and we can access it whenever we want. But when you work out outdoors, you end up getting a daily dose or an every other day dose. And you start to see that has positive effects as well. So if you've been thinking about getting outdoors, if you've been thinking about maybe every other day, you know, doing your cardio outdoors perhaps, or just taking more walks, man, I advise you to do it today. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till you're done with your current phase perhaps. I'd say do it now, man, and do it often. It's going to make you feel better. Guys, nature, we've gotten so far away from what used to keep us happy as children. And one of the reasons why we were in such a good mood was because we spent so much time outdoors. All right? So let's make some changes, man. And most importantly, let's transform.